Welcome to today's explainer. If you or someone you love just got handed a diabetes diagnosis, I know exactly how that feels. It can be incredibly overwhelming. Suddenly, there's this mountain of rules, restrictions, and a ton of confusing medical jargon. But hey, take a deep breath. Today, I'm going to be your supportive coach. We are going to cut right through the noise and hand you a simple, actionable game plan. This isn't about starvation or impossible diets. It's a natural, science-backed blueprint for sustainable management. We're going to use food as medicine and build habits that literally put you back in control.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our step-by-step playbook. Mastering the glycemic index, smart carb swaps, the plate and eating order, powerful blood sugar spices, your daily meal plan, and finally, consistency over perfection.
Section 1. Mastering the glycemic index, the absolute foundation of your game plan.
Before we hit the field, we got to know the basic rules of the game, right? Managing this is really all about controlling your blood glucose or blood sugar levels. When you eat, carbohydrates break down into glucose. The glycemic index, or GI, well, it's basically just a scorecard for how quickly a food breaks down and drops that sugar into your bloodstream. We want to avoid those massive roller coaster spikes and dangerous crashes. We're going for a slow, steady release of energy. So understanding the GI of what you're eating is your absolute best tool for keeping those levels smooth and steady all day long.
So let's look at your low GI roster. These are the MVPs you want on the field as often as possible. First up, non-starchy vegetables. Think bright, vibrant leafy greens. Spinach, broccoli, bell peppers, green beans. These are super low in carbs but packed with vitamins, and honestly, you can pretty much eat these freely. Next, high-fiber fruits. Things like berries, apples, and pears. But hey, keep the skin on. Why? Because the fiber in whole foods acts exactly like a giant sponge. It literally, physically slows down the absorption of sugar into your system. And just a quick rule of thumb, always eat your fruit whole, never juiced.
To back up those veggies, you're going to need your stabilizers. That means proteins and healthy fats. Lean proteins like chicken, fish, especially fatty fish like salmon for those awesome omega-3s, tofu, lentils, and eggs. Protein is fantastic because it doesn't raise your blood sugar and it keeps you feeling full. And listen, please do not fear fat. I know we spent decades being told to eat low-fat everything, but healthy fats from avocados, olive oil, nuts, and seeds actually slow down your digestion. They stabilize your blood sugar and even make your body more sensitive to insulin.
Section 2. Smart carb swaps. Upgrading your fuel.
Let's see how this builds into our everyday choices. We're not about just cutting everything out and suffering. We're upgrading our fuel to actually work for our bodies. We're trading refined triggers for whole grain upgrades. So instead of white rice, which basically shoots sugar straight into your bloodstream, grab quinoa or brown rice. Swap your standard white bread for whole wheat. Trade regular pasta for complex grains like oats or barley. The magic difference here is fiber. Refined foods have had all their fiber totally stripped away, causing instant spikes. Whole grains keep that fiber intact, giving you long-lasting, steady energy.
Now, if you ever freeze up in the grocery aisle, just remember this really simple quote from our source material, the legacy rule. If it's white and powdery, avoid it. It is a fantastic, memorable rule of thumb. Things like white rice, white bread, regular pasta, maida, or refined white flour, they all fall into this bucket. They are highly processed and they're going to trigger a rapid spike in your blood sugar. Just skip them.
But while we're talking about triggers, I have to firmly point out the absolute #1 enemy on the field: sugary beverages. Sodas, sweetened iced teas, energy drinks, and yes, even 100% fresh-pressed fruit juices. You really just got to cut these out entirely. Because they're liquids with absolutely zero fiber to act as a buffer, that sugar enters your bloodstream almost instantly. It causes a massive, dangerous spike. Stick to water or unsweetened herbal teas for sure.
Moving right along to Section 3, the plate and eating order, tactical execution.
Now that we know what fuels to choose, let's talk about how to actually arrange and consume them. Portion control doesn't mean obsessively weighing every single ounce of your food. Nope, just picture a standard 9-inch dinner plate. Fill half of it, 50%, with those non-starchy veggies like your greens or broccoli. Fill a quarter with your lean protein like grilled chicken or tofu. And the last quarter? That's for your complex carbs like brown rice. Quick word of caution though, even healthy carbs like quinoa can spike you if you eat a mountain of them. Keep that carb portion roughly the size of your fist.
Okay, this next part, this is where the real magic happens. It's not just about what's on the plate. It is the exact order you eat it in. This is literally one of the most powerful hacks in natural diabetes management. Always eat your food in this sequence. First, eat your fiber, your salad or veggies.
Second, your protein and fat, the meat, tofu, or yogurt. And finally, eat your carbs and starches last, the rice, roti, or fruit. The exact same meal, eaten in this specific sequence, totally changes how your body handles it.
So why does this work so brilliantly? We call it the net effect. When you eat fiber, protein, and fat first, they coat your digestive tract and physically create a sort of net in your stomach. When those carbs finally show up at the very end of the meal, they literally get caught in that net. It totally slows down their digestion and absorption, which gives you a gentle, easy rise in blood sugar rather than a crazy sudden spike. It's an absolute game changer.
Section 4. Powerful blood sugar spices, your secret weapons.
Let's check out your spice rack. Think of these natural ingredients as your secret weapons. Now, they don't replace a good diet, but they are amazing at supporting the heavy lifting your new habits are doing. Cinnamon is a total superstar. It might actually improve your body's insulin sensitivity. Try tossing just a half teaspoon into your morning oatmeal or your coffee. Fenugreek or Mayfi. If you soak the seeds in water and drink it, it really helps lower blood sugar. Turmeric, especially with a pinch of black pepper, is a massive anti-inflammatory. And of course, throw fresh ginger and garlic into your cooking. Great flavor, plus they're super beneficial for your blood sugar.
Section 5. Your daily meal plan. Let's put this playbook in action.
Let's take all these theories and hacks and build an actual day out of it. What's really interesting about this natural blueprint is seeing just how abundant the food is. Seriously, this is not some restrictive starvation diet. Check it out. Wake up and have warm water with lemon or fenugreek. Breakfast could be a veggie-packed omelet with a slice of whole grain toast. And remember, never skip breakfast. A high-protein start sets the tone for the whole day. Lunch is a big salad, grilled chicken, and a half cup of quinoa. Snack on some plain yogurt with cucumber. And dinner, lentil soup, tons of sautéed broccoli, and a small whole grain roti. It is abundant, colorful, and completely balanced.
And right after that hearty dinner, I want you to keep this number in your head, 10 to 15. Going for a brisk 10 to 15-minute walk right after your biggest meal is huge. When you walk, your muscles are working, right? They act like little vacuums, actively soaking up glucose straight from your bloodstream to use for energy. It's basically a natural, mechanical way to crush that post-meal blood sugar spike.
Section 6. Consistency over perfection. The long game. Before we wrap up, a super important medical disclaimer. This explainer is educational, so please do not stop or change any prescribed medication without talking to your doctor. But here is the really exciting part. These natural changes are so incredibly effective, your need for medication might actually go down. However, your doctor has to manage that process to make sure your blood sugar doesn't drop too low, which is called hypoglycemia. Always test your levels regularly as you make these lifestyle changes.
As your coach today, I am officially taking away the pressure for you to be perfect. You're going to have days where you slip up, and that's totally okay. The real secret is just the daily, consistent practice of these habits over time. So, looking at everything we just went over, which one small change are you going to tackle first today? Maybe it's swapping white rice for brown. Maybe it's grabbing water instead of a soda. Or maybe it's just committing to eating your salad before your pasta tonight. Pick one thing, master it, and build from there. You've got the playbook, now it's time to play. But think about this. The science of human metabolism is wildly deep. What other everyday, seemingly harmless foods might be secretly pulling the strings on your energy levels right now? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.